use creativity and variety, most certainly probably coming from some of that red clay Spanish background, being a top 100 ITF junior. You play all over the world in lots of different environments. It's important to have all of those tools to help you. Nugent, Springsboro, Ohio, was a 5-star coming in. Coach Matthews has developed her. Each conference decides who represents them in this tournament. And it's the longest point of the match. Lots of twists and turns there, heavy rolls, offense, defense, changes of direction. So Zozaya now triple break point after saving 2 break points in her own service game. Now an opportunity to get our first break of this first set. Nugent responds. A big first serve. 1 break point saved. Second serve.
All right.
That's well played. Most certainly part of Nugent's arsenal. Organize the point, transition, and use some of the actual transition net prowess. Put that volley away with authority. 2 break points saved. And now here we are with our third deciding point in the early stages of our first set. Oh, wow. It's well played from Nugent. Big time forehand, penetrating Zozaya's backhand corner. Zozaya not able to get enough on that backhand, leaving that forehand just tempting. Nugent held it, read her movement, back behind her for the winner. That is one clutch performance now. So several break points both ways, but we are on serve here in the first set. And here's a look at all the different ways that players earn their way. The All-American had 10 singles qualifiers and 4 doubles qualifiers, and the regionals, the ITA regionals, 13 spots in the country. And you had 13 singles qualifiers, 26 singles qualifiers, 13 doubles qualifiers at the regionals, and then ITA Conference Masters and sectional championships. And some feel that this weekend is super difficult because instead of the sectionals happening and then maybe the conference masters happening after, which could give more players two chances, a really good player two chances. They have to sort of pick their poison. Either you're going to the sectional or you're getting nominated by the conference to go to the ITA Conference Masters. So it doesn't dilute the pool, but most certainly it's an earned advancement. All 64 spots to get into this tournament will have been delivered by their racket and performance. There are no at-large bids where anyone's getting in on ranking. There's a lot that feel that there should maybe be a little bit of a trough in a couple spots in that regard. I can see the arguments on both sides, but this is a true national championship with earned advancement. Eugenia Zozaya serving at 1-2. Nugent with great response. So far, both of these young women have saved break points in their service games. Tries to mix that chip. Definitely not her strength. This match is two women both like to dictate with the forehand. And I am curious to see how well the actual backhands hold up in this match. How well they're able to get them deep, keep them away from their opponent's forehands, because so far it's been 80% forehands from both players. And there's a winner from Nugent. There is that comment. Coach Matthews told me one of the challenges of playing Nugent is that it's hard to read. She most certainly has some disguise, and it's not that it's unorthodox, but just very difficult to tell whether she's going across her line. And now Nugent applying some pressure. An opportunity here in this game. She's up in the game and choosing to go for a big return. Always a double-edged sword. If you make it, it looks great. If you miss it, why'd you do it? And there's another return concentration. That's one of those things in tennis. Had a couple great points that game. Ends up donating to Zozaya's cause. And we have played 4 games. And we are tied up at 2-2. Nugent serving, played primarily number 2 for her team last year. Most certainly on pace to be the number 1 player for Xavier this year. Nugent on the offense there, moving the ball around. Tried to go for the angle, and then it let court and sat up. Opportunity for Zozaya to change direction. She just wasn't able to deliver. The opportunity was there. Oh my goodness, what a shot. She thought about transitioning and just didn't get the placement on the forehand she wanted, so she retreated and started building the point again and was able to still find the forehand winner from deep in the court. So the Nugent forehand has traveled across the country. It is here and formidable.
Right now on the left side of your screen, the battle.
Well done. Zozaya showing some range, defense, wheels. Zozaya hanging in there until an opportunity presented itself to find the Nugent backhand. Missed a shot, not happy with herself. Now Nugent again. This is one heck of an early first set. Each service game with the servers back against the wall. Double break point for USC. Zozaya not being able to deliver, and Nugent staying steady, holding her court position and finding the Zozaya backhand. Zozaya's missing into the net on that backhand, which has given Nugent some confidence. In our fifth straight hole, ladies and gentlemen, 4 out of the 5 games the server has faced break points. This set score could be so many different. Could be 5-0 for Zozaya. Could be 4-1 for Nugent, but it is 3-2 on serve for Abby Nugent with Zozaya. I'm wondering what could have been, but having to get back into the present, talk with her coach, Ben Goldberg, and come up with a good game plan here. I think after 5 games in a match, you have a very good understanding of now, with both players having served and returned on both sides of the net, both condition sets of wind, and obviously it's too early for sun, but I think the coaches can now hone in and give them feedback with this is how the other person's playing you, this is how the court's playing, and now this is what we want to do these latter stages of the first set. So there's going to be, for sure, perspective and information with both of these players. The question now is who's going to execute and be able to put that first set in the books. Nugent being a great leader for her team as a senior. Their team has won the Big East all 3 years she's been there. So they've made the NCAA Team Championships. And then obviously last year, by virtue of this specific tournament, ITA Conference Masters, she was able to punch a ticket with Clary Owen to play in the NCAA Doubles. So Nugent understands and has had that taste and is hungry for this. Zozaya, freshman, new to the game, into the college system. Looking to make a name for herself. That's a big forehand. I think that was in. Runs around, pushes her back, gets back inside the court, and crushes that inside-in forehand. Nice job with the heavy high roll, and then cheating forward a couple of steps for great position. And that ball flies out. Love that combination by Zozaya. Kick serve, look for the forehand, heavy shape out of Nugent's strike zone on the backhand. It's a great combination there. That's tough. Don't like that choice. The ball was a little high, out of her strike zone. She's outside the singles boundary there. There was space, but I don't think that the ball was in a good position for that direction change. And Coach Doug's going to probably let her know. So Zaya, poised, confident, relaxed. I'm sure her heart's beating fast, but she doesn't look like a freshman to me, folks. That offensive forehand misses the mark. That's one of the first attempts at cracking a short ball and coming forward, though she's been spending the majority of her time at the baseline or deeper. And that's what Zozaya needs to be careful of. Maybe even consider taking the pace off of some of the first serves just to keep that percentage up, because that was a 30-all second serve that was sitting there. And now, there we go. It's almost like she had earbuds in and she heard me. Took the pace off, hit the kicker into the Nugent backhand, and gets the free point. Nugent needs to make sure she gets that ball in play, especially if Zozaya is going to take the pace off. That's the conversation that goes on. And here we are in our sixth game with the fifth deciding point. And an underspin forehand. Oh, dear. That's where the coaches are just having to suck it up because you don't want Nugent to go for that shot at that time. So Zozaya's chip was low, and sometimes he might want to respond to chip with a chip, but for sure not Nugent's stronger forehand. She most certainly can hit that bigger. Up. So Zozaya breathes another sigh of relief. And we are 3-all. Crucial 7th game in this first set. And Zozaya, positive, upbeat, pumping herself up. And it's also, I think, psychologically slightly more difficult to be Zozaya in this instance because she has been the one serving at 0-1 and 1-2 and 2-3. And obviously at 0-1 and 2-3 facing break points that could have created a lot more separation in these sets for Nugent. Unfortunately came in and a little bit too much of a pop-up on that volley, and Zozaya attacked. She's ready to go. Love 30 for the freshman from Oviedo, Spain. And that is a big inside in for Nugent. And down love 30, she was hoping to try to get herself back in this game, but she overplays that. This is just an extension, I think, of that game point choice she made, which wasn't a good one. There's a little bit of a mental hangover here, and she is down love 40. Is able to save one. Winner of this match will play against either Lambert from Denver, Cristano, or Tarleton State. Oh my goodness. Great return. Exactly the position you wanted to be in. She moved well. She was there, but Nugent guessed right. Cheated for the inside out. And Zozaya overplayed it because she saw her moving there. Could have driven a Mack truck inside in, but she made the other choice and lost. Nugent now 2 break points saved. I just cannot believe how many opportunities so far have been squandered both ways. Oh, a little bit of a fortunate angle. I don't think she meant to hit that angle that short and low. pulled Nugent off the court. Nugent hit a softer roll to retreat, and Zozaya with her back against the wall the entire first set. She hung tough. The freshman weathered the storm and now has her nose out in front. Up a break here, our first break of the first set. 4-3 for the number 8 seed from USC. Now, certainly some pressure on this young freshman. And it's just her third college tournament. Bit of a fortune. The number 8, the regionals were at San Diego State University, and she lost in the quarters. USC had 4 different players in the quarters of that draw. Big Ten made the decision to send this highly qualified freshman into this draw. Long discussions. Like I said before at the last changeover, I think both coaches have a sense of what's going on here and how this should go, but who's going to be able to break down the other player's backhand, generate more forehand opportunities, and subsequently finish off the points. Possibly apply some aggression on the second serve return as well. I think that both players are looking to take advantage of this. But this I like. For the very first point of the game, off-speed first serve down the tee, into the backhand, first ball right to the backhand. So that is intentional organization by Jeannie. Let's see here now if she moves a little wider and goes for the kicker on purpose. Yeah, she is doing it. Everything is intentionally now playing away from Nugent's forehand in the beginning of the point. Good choices, good organization. Nugent now a little disappointed, but again, she has to somehow have some short-term memory loss. Try to fight this back because the momentum has shifted in this first set. That's one way to shift it. Take the big forehand transition. Nugent tall. And as we said, qualified for NCAA's last year in doubles. Oh, wow. Great defense from Zozaya. Nugent not able to get herself balanced. She's still moving as Zozaya was hitting. She's worried about getting beat up the line. She wasn't able to split step. And that little footwork faux pas now has Zozaya with an opportunity to consolidate. And she misses into the net. Goodness. Going for the low slice there. I would have preferred the high backhand roll there. Not flirt with net clearance danger. And now she tries to spin it in, but she didn't accelerate on the serve. Looking a little nervous. 40-30, second serve. And that is called just wide. Nugent was trying to create a bunch of space with an angle there. Didn't need to cut it so close down game point. And now, Zozaya. USC 5-3 here in the first set. Goes wide. I'm gonna say I don't like that one. My reasoning is you've just created the biggest separation in the set. The other player struggling mentally because of it. You don't want to donate a free point there, because now Nugent gets the free point there and now runs a good serve +1, and instead of her really hanging her head, she's halfway through. You're trying to be able to get a hold here, get a little bit of confidence back, and then try to make a strong push to break and get it back to even. 30 love. That ball was low, and yeah, she's gesturing as if she needed to pick up her racket head speed, and that is exactly correct. You can't, and the Nugent forehand is not a half in, half out type of swing. It's a full commitment swing. She has to get in position and let it fly. 30-15. It's tough to tell on that backhand. If that was in or not. Just on body language, I think it was. First serve. So I guess that backhand must have been out. That must have been a 30-all point, and now with that return error, we are at game point for Nugent.
All right.
The depth and then inside out. It's close. No, we have to be at deciding point. That's not game point for Nugent. We have to be at 3-5 deciding point. That forehand must have sprayed just a little wide. These calls are so close. No. Game and first set to Zozaya on a double fault after such clutch performance early in the set on the no ads. This one is a donation to the Trojan cause. First set 6-3, number 8 seed, Eugenia. They call her Jeannie. Zozaya 6-3. Again, Mert from Georgia, top seed here. Yoshika from Cal Berkeley, number 2. Vivian Rutsky, Arizona State. Rutsky and Zoe Epps. Those are our top 4 seeds. But I think there will be some intense battles to determine who earns these last slated first NCAA championships. We also later on are going to be covering Alameen, Middle Tennessee State versus Zender from Dayton, coming up after this one. And as you can see, this has only been going on now since last year, so it's a lot to digest and get accustomed to. But the All-Americans punched some berths, and then the regionals punched some berths. And now this weekend, in conjunction with the ITA Sectional Championships, 4 different locations across the country will fill out the draws. What I think would be an interesting question, I'd like to get the answer on this one, is if one of these automatic berths turns an ankle or is not capable of playing, where the actual alternate list will end up being generated from, because there'll have to be a few alternates for something like this. And because this is all earned advancement slates, I'd be curious if the ITA will run an actual ranking after this week and then use that, or whether they'll take a look at the performances in all the different tournaments and try to actually create an order, or use WTN or some all factors method. So that I'm going to find out about, ladies and gentlemen, because that's a good question. Right now, we're in beautiful sunny San Diego. The clouds have already moved. Looking at our first round action here. ITA Conference Masters coach Mark Bey here on the 1s and 2s. And Crack Racquets, as always, it's such a strong, consistent provider of all of this college content throughout the entire year. Shout out to Dalton, Alex Gruskin, Daniel Westhoff, and the entire Crack Racquets team and their commitment to college tennis. Putting on my coach hat. I talk so often. I even talked with one of my top clients this morning about this, but there are different stages of a match that you play. And I'm going to suggest that we finish 3 stages already, and this first game of the second set is a stage in and of itself. So Zozaya wants to stay on top, start building momentum towards a victory, and Nugent needs to emotionally somehow reset, try to swallow the disappointment of a first set that had her in great position early on, but not able to take advantage. And it was the freshman that came through at the end. But so far, Nugent is missing, and not just missing badly. Wide, far. So she's going back to the fence to give a little chat to herself, as I think she should, because this is an important beginning that Zozaya understands. She not only gets that first set, she wins the first set of the second in dominant 40-love fashion and is walking confidently. She means business in only her third college tournament. Not a lot of experience, but most certainly a lot of top-level tennis experience, traveling around the world, being as high as 80 in the world ITF. So she knows her way around the tennis court. It's 78 by 36, no matter where you play it. And Nugent now has to calm it down. And now she takes on the reverse role. In the first set, it was Nugent that was holding from even, and Zozaya that was trying to hold to tie. And now Nugent is in this role of 0-1 and so on, trying to hold serve just to tie. And not able to do that puts even more pressure and scoreboard separation, because now she's down a set. Specifically why we just talked about the significance and the importance of that first game of the second. But that's in the record books. And now here we are. 0-1. Big forehand looks close. It looks as if Zozaya called it out, and then Nugent questioned. But it appears that the coach agreed. Unforced her along from Nugent. And unlike possibly a typical dual match that might have a chair umpire in each chair for each position match, because this is a 32 draw, 16 matches, but basically 12 matches going on right now this morning. There's not 12 referees in a chair. There's officials roving to watch and offer some support. So it's a little different than what some of these players might be accustomed to.
All right.
Short ball. Able to get in position and put it away. So Zaya now is really digging in. She's cornering well. She's getting in great position. She's taking the power from Nugent, getting those balls back and getting them back with interest. Most certainly, she's picked up some confidence from winning that first set. Now she is a point away from a 2-love lead here and a dominant position in this match. And there it is again. It's, they say when it rains, it pours. Nugent had been extremely composed and playing, I felt, pretty free and loose, comfortable forehand dictating offense. As the momentum shifted and the score did not go her way, she's lost a little bit of the luster and now is not able to find the mark with her offense. And Zozaya has gotten that much stingier and smarter and organized, and it's showing us why there's a number 8 behind her name in this draw. 6-3, 2-love, Trojans. And Zozaya is continuing to keep up the footwork and the shape and the placement. Her ball movement is excellent.
Good shot.
There's something to feel good about. Nugent needed to win a point. 30-15. Oh, that's some good tennis. Zozaya, she is putting it all out there now, folks. Heavy rolls, angles, counterattacking defense, and now the dropper. We hadn't seen the dropper. It comes and a great forehand open stance defense combination. (40-15). That's tough. In her mind, she wanted to attack it, but she didn't step up to the ball. She let the ball come to her. And as a result, she was a little late, but still tried to go big. And that's why that error looks so sort of far and wild. It's just a little bit of a judgment mistake there made by Nugent. And I call this the driver's seat. Stage 5 of a match. Zozaya, 6-3. We love. And because the players are able to get into the last opportunity of the sectional, this is one heck of a melting pot of, in my opinion, powerhouse schools, but also small schools. There's a lot of great players around the nation and opportunities. Let's just listen to the schools. Georgia, Nevada, Quinnipiac, Yale, Furman, Norfolk State, Lehigh, Arizona State, Toledo, McNeese State, Fordham, UNC Charlotte, North Florida, Murray State, Old Dominion, Denver, Carleton State, Xavier, USC, Charleston Southern, Long Beach, Northern Arizona, Louisiana Tech, Elon Bryant, Oakland, Pepperdine, Jackson State, Farley Dickinson, and Cal Berkeley. So just a complete who's who of schools across the country and the Division I space, all having top players and most certainly worthy. If you're playing the number one position for Division I school, chances are you're a very good tennis player. And this format and this opportunity gives them a chance to punch their ticket and play their way in. And some would say that the old system of qualifying for NCAAs would let the rich be richer, meaning if you played top 3 for a power conference, you just had a much higher possibility because of the strength of field that you would play, that you could possibly make NCAA. It doesn't add large bid. And now here with these different formats, what ends up happening is it's giving at least 4, if not 12 to 16 opportunities to some players to get through and make the 64 field based on their results across all the different portals. Well, that's a good forehand there. There is now just a competitiveness coupled with a consistency that Zozaya is showing. And then to add that scoreboard pressure. It has just amounted a toll. And now Nugent has a very small amount of time to try to right the ship, but it has been 7 games in a row. Eugenia Zozaya. And here comes the drop shot, the full arsenal, all the disguise and the creativity. Tangled up with the feet there. Needed to cut the court off a little differently. That's a textbook pattern from Nugent. getting a little bit more depth out the backhand now. Very well coached match by assistant Ben Goldberg. Helped the freshman get through that initial set of nerves and pressure and challenge in the match. And as she started getting more comfortable and getting the scoreboard going, then she just opened up the entire playbook of why Coach Swain recruited her. She says she's just as serious as she is positive, and one of the most fun gals in the van to hang out with, and that fun personality bleeds into everything. Most certainly the type of kid you want in your program. And now she's up 5-love here. One more game away from the round of 16 again to make the semifinals at this tournament. Qualifies you for the NCAA individuals. So Zozaya, being in the round of 16, will just need to win 2 more matches. Always a tough conversation at this stage of a match for a college coach. When the match was most certainly even and interesting and lots of possibilities, and it just takes a turn. As in tennis, as in all sports. One of the hardest things to do is maintain your level under pressure. Looks as if that one missed the mark too. It's the beginning of the match. A lot of that stuff was falling for Nugent. Yeah, she's taking out her frustrations on the ball and just trying to hit big winners, make some statement shots to feel better about herself. But now the negative emotions and the momentum have just taken over. It's just in a tough spot to play from right now. So Zozaya decided she was going to try to sneak there and just waited a little bit too long. After she struck the forehand, she needed to hit it and just immediately go. And she also Nugent had the benefit of already moving in that direction, so she was able to get that passing shot down. A great backhand pass. Space is open, but a little bit more of a baseball swing, like a Jim Courier type of swing that Nugent has, and that knuckleballed up the line and was not in the court. Match point for USC and let court ace. What do you know? Oh wow. There was a time where that was just a let court and you did it all over again. But for many years now, let courts are part of the game, and that is an ace. And that's called just long. So that is what they call game, set, and match in tennis. Eugenia Zozaya Menendez. They call her Jeannie. She was outstanding. Handled the nerves and the pressure and the seeding and the expectation. Fought through a tough early stage of the first set. Kept it even until she could pull. And once she put her nose out in front, she did not look back, winning 9 straight games to close here. So she moves on to play the winner of Lambert and Castano. That will happen, obviously, actually going on right now. So great job, Coach Allison Swain, with the rest of the team at the sectional. Hopefully Allison tuned in and feels good about her freshman. And hopefully she'll keep doing a better job of getting to practice a couple minutes early, because she is an outstanding addition to this Trojan team that now is in the Big Ten and looking with their new additions to put pressure on Michigan and Ohio State in the tops of that conference. We're going to have a lot of action all 4 days. Thank you so much for tuning in to this one. We're going to be bringing you El Amin and Zender coming up shortly. And this is the 2025 ITA Conference Masters live from San Diego Barnes Tennis Center on Crack Racquets.